This pro wrestler was featured in season 3 of the hit TV show Dark Side of the Ring. He's a New Jersey cult icon and considered to be the king of death matches. Straight Outta Jersey welcomes New Jersey resident Nick Gage.
Welcome everyone to Straight Outta Jersey. I am Joe Zapata, and I'm here with a wrestling cult icon, king of the death matches, a Jersey brother, Nick Gage. What's up, Nick?
Hey, how you doing, Joe? First off, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody in New Jersey. I want to let everybody know I'm proud to be a New Jerseyan. I'm proud to be from National Park, New Jersey, South Jersey, Gloucester County. And Joe, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show. It's I don't do too many of these, Joe. And once I found out you rep Jersey like this, dude, I said I got to be on it, man. So thank you so much, Joe.
No problem. First, I want to wish my condolences. Obviously, in April, you lost your girl. Over like 20 years, you guys were dating.
26 years.
26 years, very tough. What happened? Can you explain what happened?
So my wife, so far as the autopsy was, she had a cardiac arrest.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I was in a daze. So like they did the autopsy, but they didn't really dive into that. So by the time I got out of the phase, we had the funeral. Their family did all that. Her wife and stuff like that. So I didn't get to like really say, I want a deeper autopsy. So I have to leave it like that right now. But I'm trying to look into things right now, Joe, because I need a little bit more answers.
Okay. How is your overall health these days? How's your health?
So right now it's tough, Joe. It's tough with my wife passing away. I never been through this type of grief. I lost my mom, my brother, my dad. You can go down the line, but my best friend, my wife. That's tough, but other than that, Joe, I feel good, man.
That's good.
For all the punishment I've been through in my career, I can still go in that ring. I can still wrestle hard and do what I love, my passion. So I'm blessed, and I feel good, man.
Okay. Did you grow up a wrestling fan like myself?
Oh, absolutely. My dad, since we were pretty much came out of the womb, he had it on TV. So we
love wrestling.
Pops.
Okay. When did you want to start training to do wrestling? Where'd you go?
So this is how it goes, Joe. I started falling out of love with wrestling around when I was like 15, 14.
Okay.
This got a little weird for me, like WCW. And then I found ECW. If anybody knows about ECW, it used to be East Championship Wrestling. And then switched over to Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, at the Viking Hall, at the Bingo Hall, New Armory Arena. So once I found ECW, that's what made me want to be a wrestler. I said, this is what I want to do right here. And as soon as I seen that, as soon as I started going to the shows and everything like that, I guess as soon as I graduated high school, the next day, me and my brother went down to the wrestling school. And
wow. Where did you come up with the name Nick Gage?
Okay, so shout out to John Corson, John Zandig. He came up with a Gage. I was hardcore Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, a little weird. So I said, I need a last name, man. So I was thinking like the Shotgun Gage, but that's Gauge. So we had to simplify it, so we just put a GAG. So shout out to John. He came up with it, and, I have to give him a shout out because it worked.
Now you're known as the king of the death matches, and the matches you've had have been incredible with the blood and the lights and the barbed wire. I mean, how do you put your body through that and just go through it? I mean, how do you do it?
So let me let you know this. The reason why they call me the king is not only because I do the deathmatch wrestling, how I conduct myself in that locker room, how I travel the world and talk to the guys, the younger guys and the deathmatch guys to try to keep this this genre, this style of wrestling, keep going and keep going, keep it at a high level. That's why I do, man. Not only so I feel proud that I'm a king like that. I don't know, Joe. High tolerance pain. Blessed, and I really truly love what I do. Like this is not a job. This is like, I don't know, I guess I just wake up and I get to go to something I love to do. So when you have a passion for something, it's pretty good. And I'm also good at keeping my body, working out, keep my body good, eat healthy. I get checkups every 6 months. I make sure I do all that stuff.
That's pretty cool. What happened in the match with Thumbtack Jack? That you were dead for like 7 minutes apparently. What happened in that match?
Okay, so Thumbtack Jack. So we had a 200 light tube death match.
Okay.
Take the light tubes, and there's 200 of them surround the ring. like that. So what I did was whip me in, and I kind of went through the second rope. And when I went through the second rope, Joe, the two broke. But when they're like put on them ropes, they're like I don't want to say tape, but they're put there like that. So it kind of stuck there. So when it broke, it stayed there, and it stuck me under my armpit.
Oof.
And if anybody knows about like getting stabbed or anything, like your armpit's the worst you can get stabbed. There's a lot of arteries right there. So it punctured two arteries,
Oof.
and it just didn't puncture, but it tapped my main artery.
Mm-hmm.
So I bled out to death, and then they brought me back to life, man. You know, shout out to the doctors out in Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Now they came for you through the helicopter.
Helicopter, man,
yeah.
Crazy. Yes,
yeah.
You know, getting the ambulance on site, it was just too long. I would have been done. So the helicopter came in, put me on there. I remember, you know, getting on the helicopter. I remember that stuff. And then once I got on the helicopter, that's when I flatlined. I don't remember anything till surgery. Yeah.
Wow.
I woke up in surgery and I started ripping out the cords and shit, Joe. And you know, they shot me up and put me right back down. And that's I woke up.
Okay. You also had a match where you lit yourself on fire. You had some fire matches where you're on fire.
Fire there, Joe. You know, they lit that, would you call it, a table or something? I don't know what that structure was with barbed wire on it.
Yeah.
And so John's a big guy, man. He's like 270, bro. So when you're on that rope and you know, when you're on the apron, you're trying to, you know, use your leg muscles to try to get him up. He's a big dude, man. So I just picked him up all the way. So when I landed back, you know, the brilliant guys want to put barbed wire on this thing. So I had my shirt on. It got me stuck in the barbed wire. All of a sudden, like, I'm lit on fire, man. So I tried to do the stop, drop, or roll, which I was horrible at. And they went over to John. John had like a little bit of burn going on. I'm like, putting this guy, after I watched the tape, you know what I mean, Joe? Why are they putting this guy out? Because he's the boss? I was like, so, I, you know, and what they did wrong the second time is, excuse me, get away from me.
No problem.
What they did the second time is they wanted to put water on me. If anybody knows, not to put water on burns, you know, everybody know out there. So they did that, and I'm crazy, Joe. I went home and didn't go to the hospital. To believe that. I sat on my couch, my wife's just looking at me like I'm crazy, but I don't like hospitals. So I would say day 2, the skin started falling off. Everything was burning. She's like, "You got to go now." And I went into the hospital, Joe, with a towel around my back. As soon as I took the towel off, the faces on there, they were like, "Oh my God." And they rushed me right to the burn unit, man. And you know, did what they do. I don't, you know, start putting it on me and stuff like this. And, you know, thank God I had that shirt on, because I would have had a lot more burn marks than I did, man. So,
wow. What was the worst injury you ever had in the ring, you think?
All right. So that was a pretty bad one, dude. That was so bad. But I tore my 2 calf muscles.
Okay.
So I thought it was my Achilles heel. That hurt really bad. It felt like a baseball bat hit my calf. And I tried to do moves and I couldn't do nothing, man.
Couldn't do nothing, huh?
No, dude, I fell right down. And
Whoa.
if anybody knows me, man, I don't just go to the locker room. I try to tough it out. You know, I'm a cool wrestler, man. But so tough it out, you can't walk, you know. So
wow, that's tough, man. You know, ahead, Dean Ambrose, who John Moxley, you know him pretty well.
Yeah, my God.
He's a good dude. And he said to me that, he says, you know, WWE and AEW, they would die for a wrestler like you because you're so talented. Why haven't they called you? Why haven't you gone there?
Okay, so AEW, I did a match with Chris Jericho. That I main evented in North Carolina. Almost 8,000 to 10,000 people, and I was proud of this one. We got 1 million views. Wow! On the TV, you know, to tune in. So, and not only we do that, it was a death match. What I do.
That's cool.
Also, they called me, Joe.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Out for this up. They called me. They brought me in the event. I don't know, Joe. I guess I never pursued it like I guess they wanted me to.
Okay.
I love what I do on the independent thing. I also had GCW. It's Game Changer.
Yep.
And that's Brett Lauderdale, who is my best friend. We started that company together, and it's just so great to come out of prison and have a company with your best friend. I didn't need no more. So I'm very happy with where I was at in my life. Everything was going.
Yeah, everything's going
even
good.
Even if they asked me, I don't know if I would have said yes, Joe. Keep it real. Nothing against them. I love AEW and WWE's product. I was just very happy in my life at the time, man. You know, everything
Wow.
was perfect. I'm traveling every weekend with my friends. You know, it's just,
Mhm.
you know, part of me probably would have said yeah, just because you know the competitor in me has, you know what I mean, Joe. You know, but you never know.
Wow.
Future might hold something, you know.
Wow. Obviously, then you had a dark period in your time. You went to jail. You robbed a bank. I mean, that takes balls to do that, though. I mean, what happened?
Okay. What happened was, let's see, depression, drug use, everything you don't need in your life was happening. Yeah. You know what, Joe? Now that my wife passed away, I just hated it. I did that. You know why? First off, it changed my life by me going and time to reinvent myself, find out who I am and stuff like that. Because you just sit there and you start thinking and stuff, and I start working out, and I just became the person I know who I am. But then out and like my wife passed away, and I only had 6 more years with her. You know, 7 more years, you know, and you don't know that. Of course, you don't know that, Joe. No one knows when pass. But now I say, damn, man, oh, stupidity. You know, anybody commit a crime, man, please don't do it. Guess what? The slow road. Get a good job, education, go to work. Even if you can't get a good job, man, get a part-time job. Do something. Because guess what? That's going to work in the long run. What I did not work, and it ruined my future with my wife because I just didn't have enough time with her, you know. But on the flip side of that, Joe, by me laying down for, I didn't need 5 years, by the way, or 7 years, Joe. Let's keep it real. I needed just to sit down and get back to who I am, Nick Wilson. You know, my real name. You know the person my mother raised me to be, and I got back to that, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And it felt good, bro. You know what I mean? And now I'm just keep doing what I'm doing, man. So
God bless Patty Dukes.
Oh, Pat Dukes, man, she was the best. My mom, man, she was just a beautiful lady. My house was where all the friends come. You know, I was that house. You know, you one house, and not only she first off she worked 40 some hours a week. You know, my mom I would pick us up every 2 weeks, but like she was a single mom. Let's just keep it real. And not only that, the kids would come over and she would feed the kids. She would feed my friend. Yeah, my one boy Eddie. Shout out to Eddie Kaki, man, who beat cancer and everything like that, man. He's a great guy. He would come to our house and she would say, grab a shopping cart. Eddie's got to get his stuff for the house too. You know, that's the lady, you know, always giving, you know.
She had breast cancer? Breast cancer, your mother?
Yeah. So what we did was me and my wife, we would go for the walk over in Philadelphia every year with my I would take her to her chemo treatments. I was just trying to spend as much time as I can with her. And she was Christian, man, but you know, cancer, man, just came back, man. And she was so great. Just the way she went out. She was just top notch, man. So such a soldier, such a tough lady, man. So you know, made me proud, you know. So
Your brother, obviously, he actually committed suicide too. What happened with that? Was he struggling with stuff too?
Man, you know, so it's hard to say. So my brother, man, like I didn't know he was struggling with that stuff, you know. Like I came out of prison. My first one of the things I wanted to do, Joe, was I wanted to reconnect with my brother. When I got out, I wanted us to have a relationship again. I wanted everything like that. So when I started doing that, I think they seen that I was a changed man. They seen I wasn't what I was before. I was, you know, a stand-up guy again, you know, reliable. All this stuff you forgot who you were, you know what I mean? He was going through stuff. So his wife would call me all the time. Please come over and talk to your brother. Please do this. Please do that. And that's when I found out like he was struggling with stuff too.
Wow.
You know, and I'm telling him, Chris, man, look at me, bro. You know, look at me, man. You know, I could be at the bottom of the barrel down here, but guess what? You can bounce back, man. You can't bounce back from death. Okay. You know, you can bounce back from anything, Joe, in your life, but not that. So I was just trying to, man. But I didn't like the way he was talking and everything. I was telling my wife, man, he doesn't sound like Chris. And I don't know, man. Everything, you know, losing your wife, losing your family, you know, losing everything, your job. I guess weight on his shoulders, man. You know, and everybody who's listening to this, if you're going through anything in your life, please reach out to someone. You are not a weak man or woman. You're not less of a person for doing that. You're a strong person for doing that. So anyone going out there, reach out to a family member, a friend, a stranger. anybody, bro. Because I'm telling you right now, if you get that stuff off your chest, it will feel great. Because I the hard way, Joe. I learned to bottle and stuff up does not work. Because I'm going through it right now, and I got a grief counselor.
Okay.
People to talk to, because I'm up on my chest. I want to move forward, and stuff like that. I don't want to battle it up. Bottling up will eat me alive, Joe. So everybody listen to Joe's, which probably a lot of people.
Yeah.
Please, just go see someone or go talk to somebody. It'll feel good, Joe. I just want to get the message out, man.
Dark Side of the Ring. You were featured in season 3.
Yeah,
episode 3. How did that happen?
Okay, they contacted me, Joe.
They did. Okay, wow.
So at that time up here in my career, I guess Brett was kind of being my agent too while he was running the company. I was just going to go through DCW at the time. So they reached out to him, man, and I said no, Joe, at least twice.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't want him to tell my story the wrong way. I don't run me over or some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my people who I really, I guess their judgment, their feedback I really like. So they told me go do it. So I said, you know what? Let's go do it, man.
Okay.
And I'm happy I did, Joe. They did a great job on that.
They did.
I didn't know my wife was in there. And my wife is never in anything. I'm very defensive of her. I don't want her to be anything because people can be nasty, Joe.
Of course.
I can handle it, no problem. But sometimes, and once they found out I was with her for 20-some years, we high school sweethearts, never broke up, all the good stuff. They were like, she's got to be in it. She's got to be in it. And she has to be in it. You're going to tell my whole story. She did an awesome job, man. She knocked it out of the park. And shout out to Vice and all them people up there. They knocked it out of the park, man. I'm proud of the episode. So.
She was your ride or die, wasn't she?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did everything when I went away to prison. Did everything you need to do when you're in there, man. Wrote me, visited me all the time. And if anybody knows this, I don't know about now, but when I was there, you couldn't call cell phones. So she had to put a landline in the friggin' thing. And by the way, she don't drive. So she had to get on a bus, a train to come see me and walk.
Wow.
I know when she did that, she did it faithfully. I'm not saying once, 2 months, once almost every week or every other week. So,
she really loved you. She loved you.
Yes.
She really loved you.
And that's why I was faithful to her. And that's why I was a man of a man. If you're going to be with someone you love, you have to be faithful, because guess what? I can't lay in that bed and look at her and knowing I, did something stupid like that. So I'm proud of that. Proud of that.
Yeah. You had a great famous match against David Arquette.
Yes.
That was a famous match. So tell me how that happened.
So David Arquette, another one, reached out to me.
Okay.
I think he didn't want, I guess nobody was taking him serious. So I don't know if he thought it was a smart idea, but he wanted to look tough. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea, but he wanted to do a death match with me.
It's stupid.
Tough, let's do this. Bad idea, Joe. So, so he took us out to I forget what the steak place is called in Los Angeles, but it's like the world's oldest restaurant in Los Angeles. I'm a moose, something like that. Moose.
Okay.
So we had steak dinner and we talked about this stuff. And I'm sure, you know what I do. I'm very good at what I do. I'm the best at it. But this is still, it hurts. You know what I mean? The is real, Joe. The barbed wire is real. All this is real, man. It's no fake. So I'm like, and I can't be light with you, bro. And then next week I gotta wrestle someone tough as hell, and then look them in the eyes and go hard on them. You know what I'm saying? And he reached out. We had the match. I'll tell you what, it was great. He was doing awesome, Joe. I was proud. But then I had to turn it up a notch, Joe.
Yeah.
I had to take it from here to here, man. Oh, wait a minute. I might have got myself into something I shouldn't have got myself into.
Yeah. He seemed a little pissed at you towards the end.
Yeah, I guess so. You got to trust me, and you got to listen to me. You got to know that I know what I'm doing out there. It might look crazy, Joe, but what I call it control violence.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing out there. It might look like I'm fucking all over the place, but it really is. I'm really doing this. I know what I'm doing. And I think he didn't think I knew what I was doing or some, when he shot the double leg, if you ever watched the video.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
His head and he grabbed my two legs from behind. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea with glass in my hand. So when he did that, as he's turning his neck, I got the glass in my right hand, and it stabbed him. I don't want to say stabbed because it didn't really puncture into his neck. It sliced him a little. It was a nice little cut.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing it so long, Joe, that I can see the cut and know it's not that bad.
Okay.
It's still scary. Don't get me wrong. Joe, I sat on that ground and I said, did I just kill David Arquette? I really did, Joe. I looked up and I said, oh no. You can see it in the camera. And looking up at him like, oh my God, not David Arquette.
No.
Why I'm looking at him, Joe, that's when I realized the cut wasn't like as bad as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And like you could see that it's not squirting out. He's not doing the stuff I know he should be doing. So I was like, oh, good. All right. But he's never been in these things, Joe. He's not a seasoned vet like I am. So he just bugs out right away. You know what I mean? And he does stupid move like he thought he's gonna like try to take me down or throw a chair at me. Like, So I hit him with the judo throw and I said, you better stay down, bro. I'm gonna hurt you. And I'm not the toughest guy out there, but Joe, I could do my thing, man.
Wow.
And, if you're gonna start, try to fight me, bro, of course I'm gonna fight you back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you talked to him since or no? You don't talk to him.
You want to hear it? All right, I got great stories, Joe, for days, man.
Go ahead.
Okay. David Arquette contacted me.
I can't see your face if you could come up a little bit. I can't see your face. There you go. Perfect.
He was shooting a documentary. I didn't know he was doing it at the time. And he was shooting a documentary. So he called me up. Now, I didn't talk to him after the match, probably for like 6 months to a year.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I get a phone call from David Arquette. I said, wow, all right. Hey, they want to use my footage for the DVD. I said, well, what can you give me? Can I get paid too? Oh, we don't pay for documentaries. I said, oh, all right, I'll talk to you later. I could my footage, I gotta make money too here. I got bills.
Yeah, you got bills.
What can we do? So you know what he gave me? He gave me a mattress. Yes, a king size, brand new mattress. I guess he had a connection or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, a mattress? That's a little weird, but that'd be a great story. Everybody can use a new mattress. You know what I mean?
A mattress?
So, send it on over, bro. No, I'll give you the footage. And I did. And at the time I had at my house, I loved. I didn't want to get rid of it. So, what happened to that mattress? I don't know. I think the dog did something. I whipped out the new mattress. It's great. I got it right now. So shout out to David Arquette and his wife. The new great.
That's crazy.
I actually think it might have been better a little bit of money.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know.
But who was your toughest match where you thought, oh man, I gotta stop for a little bit? You think to take a timeout?
Never stopped, so we can't put it like that.
Okay.
I want to say Schlack's been a really tough one. If you know who Schlack is,
I've heard of it. Yes.
Schlack is, Joe. Look him up. He's a maniac. He was a really tough. We had a prison rules match in Atlantic City.
Okay.
I tried to poke him up and stuff. he had phone books on around his waist. Really? Poke him up. He was a tough one, Joe. He just doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like you were saying, stop. You could just keep beating on him. He'll just keep coming. He was a tough Thumbtack Jack. Tough one. That barbed wire match we had after the one I died. I said going in that match, I'm gonna hurt him on purpose, but I'm gonna take everything to him, man. I'm gonna make sure that he don't get up. And he just kept coming. I couldn't believe it. To where I got cut on my head. I was bleeding so much that I was done, man. Yeah, it was a good one. I'll give you another one. Probably Matt Tremont, man. We had a trilogy matches when I first came to prison. And it was a Tokyo Towers match. First ever in American history, cinder block death match, where the whole canvas was cinder blocked. With the patio blocks.
Wow. Yeah. The
ring held the weight. First ever in American history.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man.
Let me ask you: when you were in prison, people might have known you were a wrestler. Might have tried to test you. Did they try to test you in prison at all? Because you're, tough wrestler.
I was a little nervous about that too, Joe. A couple guys did. I don't know if it was the wrestling thing, but they did. A couple did. I handled one because he wouldn't pay me my ramen noodle soup back.
Okay.
Which is 50 cents. Which is ridiculous, but you have to do that stuff in there, man. You can't shoot. I think I conducted myself the right way, Joe. I've been myself. I was quiet. Joe, I wanted to get in there and get out of there. No less, no more time I wanted. And also I wanted to train, get my body right. I looked at it like a training camp, to be honest with you. I said, it's a training camp for me. I know it's a lot of years, but this is what I do. And I think that helped me out, man. Because, being out in that weight pile, you start talking to a couple of people. And I just think that, I wasn't no fool. I wasn't like a loudmouth, none of that stuff, and
wow.
Myself, and I was quiet. And I think that helped me out, Joe.
Wow. You have a legacy. You're an icon, a cultural icon. It's because you're very tough. You go through things, but you keep fighting back.
Yes, sir.
You lost your girlfriend, you lost your mother. You keep fighting back. And I guess that's what people love about you is you get low, but you come back up. You keep fighting.
That's right, man. You have to, Joe. Lay down, crawl down, man. It's not gonna work, Joe. Life don't go like that.
No.
Also, what happens to some of them bands or excuse me, my gang, some of them or younger guys are looking at me and see how I react. I react and lay down. Maybe down the road they might do the same thing, Joe. And all of a sudden I got something on my conscience that, man, maybe if I did something different, that guy would do something. That fuels me, Joe.
Yeah.
That makes me, get out here and just keep trucking, man. I know but I go by it, man. Just keep trucking, keep fighting. Also, I got great people in my life, Joe. I got great friends. I want to give a shout out. I was talking to him before I got on this thing. Jordan Oliver. Jordo's my friend. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy Floyd, Brett Lauderdale, all them guys, man, who really got my corner. Man, Joe, my wife passed away. I made one phone call. And before you knew it, I had 5 guys at my house. And they're bringing food, just the stuff you need to do. And I was telling myself, man, like I knew I had support, but to see it in action, it's beautiful, man. It's unbelievable. And the support I got when my wife passed away, my best, it was unbelievable. And they all knew Sandra too, and they all loved her too. And it's just amazing, man. And they're all just here and still like Jimmy and a couple of guys, they still come over. I don't invite them, I just come over. They know, I'm by myself, man. I'll come over, hang out, watch some sports center, watch the sports. And it's awesome, Joe. And it's helping me out, Joe. It really happens.
What do you want your legacy to be? Your legacy of your.
I want my legacy to be. I wanted people to know I was a hard worker. I love deathmatch wrestling. I love what I do, and I just want to. I'm a kind, good person, man. I try to help out the boys in the locker room. Stuff, Joe.
Really
my
cool,
legacy.
Man.
Also, I want to be known as the best deathmatch wrestler ever to do this. Not wrestler, deathmatch wrestler.
Yep. You are the king of that stuff. You are the king, man.
These guys do these death matches and be a little embarrassed after a while. Oh, I don't want to be labeled as that. I want to be, nah, man. You can label me that. Because when I went into prison, they tried to kill this genre. They tried to make it down. They tried to say this is not right. I said, when I get out, my mission is to put this thing back on the map, and I think I did that. And I'm proud of
you. Did.
I got my legacy.
Do you want to retire anytime soon or what?
No, Joe.
No.
I'm
going
to do this until my body gives up. Or I always say this, someone puts a bullet in my brain, man. Because I'm blessed and I love what I do, man. And a lot of people say that, Joe. A lot of people got to go to this 9 to 5 or whatever, these double shifts and go do, put food on the table or a roof over their head. I get to pack my bags, get on a flight, and travel the United States or the world all the time. Who wants to retire from that?
Yeah, exactly. When is your next match?
Oh, I got one Saturday. Listen to this. So remember I said I used to go to that arena for ECW, the one that got me to be a wrestler? I'm getting inducted to the Hall of Fame of that arena.
Oh my good. Congratulations.
Bro, Joe, I couldn't believe it when they told me. I said, this place is the reason why I do this. Now I'm in the Hall of Fame. So Saturday, I'll be 31st. I'll be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And
that's awesome.
For my wife. I was going to surprise her and invite her up on the stage for my speech and just tell her how much she was an important part of me being a wrestler and just my life and everything like that. So I can't do that, but I'm going to put it in my speech, man. And I want to let everybody know that this lady right here was awesome and she supported me nonstop. Not once did she say, Oh, you might need a new job, or you might need this. None of that. Do what you love. Do what your passion is. We'll get if it don't work out, we'll figure something out.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Amazing person.
I know, man.
She's an amazing person, That's crazy. Are you going to do any autograph signings or anything? Do you do any conventions? Because people love to see you.
All the time, Joe. All the time. Yeah, I'm open. Whoever wants to invite me. I used to.
Yeah, because I know New Jersey to have a bunch, and I know people asked.
Like I left GCW. So what I became is like an independent contractor a little.
Yep. Okay.
Kind of been moving around stuff. I just kind of wanted to start working with the younger guys.
Okay.
I wanted to be free to use my ideas, what I, you know what I mean, instead of like other people say. So, but listen, if anybody's listening to this and want me to come to the convention, Nick Gage, 477-441C at gmail.com. Instagram, same thing. And I'll get there, man. I love them. I love you.
Oh, that's great, man.
And by the way, 477-441C is my SBI number to my prison.
Wow, I was wondering what that was. I thought it was maybe like your birthday or something. Wow, that's pretty cool. That is really cool, man. So what do you want people to remember your girl by? What she did, what legacy she had? Because she was a rock for you.
She was not only a beautiful looks-wise, and not only beautiful inside and out, she was kind-hearted, through the roof. Listen, Joe, I didn't give her a lot of materialistic things. I didn't give her a car and a big house and stuff like that. But you know what I gave her, Joe? I gave her faithfulness. And you know what she gave back to me? She treated me like a king. King, Joe. And it's just awesome. So I just want loyalty, loved her family, everything that you want a person to be. She had, we both go through our little things in life, bro. We go crack and stuff like that. But that doesn't make you a bad person. So I want everybody out here to listen to this. If you're going through things, and that stuff, just because you're going through that right now does not make you a bad person. It just makes you lost for a little bit. But you can get back on that track, man. You just got to stay with me. You just got to keep going at it. That's it, man. Let everyone know that.
Because she loved your mother. She loved your mother, she seemed.
Oh, God, did she?
It seems like she did.
Story about the background of my mom and her.
Go ahead.
So when I first started going out with Sandra, she lied to me. It said she led down to the shore. Her mom led her down to the shore and stuff like that. I said, great. So we drove down to the shore. Well, I found out it was a lie. And guess what? Her dad and about 5 of his buddies who he has his own work, his own construction, whatever it was. I think he was like putting, I forget what he did, but it was hard work. Their shirts are all ripped up, Jack, picking his daughter up from a guy. I just started going out with her, Joe. I don't even know if I met the family yet. I was over there for dinner yet. And then it looks like I'm kidnapping their daughter and bringing her down there when she wasn't allowed down there, which was not the truth. She lied to me. And what did my mom do? She fucking took her in and talked to her like she was been there with me for 5-10 years already, man. And because Sandra was upset, she was crying a little bit, because she got caught and so made her smile again. That's okay. You're more next day and stuff like that. So,
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and they connected right there, Joe. Right there.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
As soon as Sandra graduated high school, she moved right in with me. So once my mom would come over to our house all the time and just bring food. And once you do that, they start kicking and connecting, man. So
thank you. Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming on. You're the best. New Jersey loves you. You're a cult icon.
Hey, Joe, this was awesome, man.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Great interviewer, and you're a professional.
Thank you.
Thank you for A1.
Thank you, Nick.
Man. So
I'm donating. I'm sort of. This is for Sandra. This podcast for your loss and everything. We appreciate her. We love her to miss her.
I do too, man. Thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you, Nick, for just doing this for me. I appreciate it, brother. Let's talk
in New Jersey, and be proud to be from New Jersey.
You got it, brother.
All right, man.
You got it. I'll talk to you later, Nick.
All day.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.